Hey up, I'm the Yorkshire Time Lord, asking the question, is May's Theory the new Big Finish? Okay, so this is an idea I've had for a video for a while, and that's the idea that May's Theory could be the new Big Finish. Now, I'm not going to lie, there are a few differences between May's Theory and Big Finish. Obviously, the most obvious being that they are an audio company and not a video game company, and also the fact that Big Finish first began making Doctor Who content in 1999. So they've been doing it quite a bit longer than May's Theory, whose first Doctor Who video game released in 2019. But I do think there are a few similarities between the two as well. Now, May's Theory have only released 3 video games so far, so nowhere near as many as Big Finish. Big Finish pretty much have arranged for everything in regards to Doctor Who. There's even a Lady Christina de Souza range, and she was only in one story. She was literally only in Planet of the Dead. And they've got 2 box sets out of Lady Christina de Souza. Only Big Finish could do that. They really milk those characters, it's great to see. But yeah, May's Theory have currently got 3 video games, and those are The Edge of Time, The Lonely Assassins, and The Edge of Reality. Now, I've only played 2 of those 3, and those are The Edge of Time and The Lonely Assassins. And I really enjoyed both of them. I thought they were both such really great immersive stories. And they both really use Weeping Angels in particular really well. The Edge of Time is really scary, Weeping Angels in particular. That Weeping Angel level is absolutely terrifying. The bit where the Weeping Angel's arm comes out of a painting absolutely terrified me. It really made me jump. And The Lonely Assassins is quite creepy with it as well. It basically takes the form of like what's called a found phone game, which is basically where the player finds a mobile phone, and the story is told through like a series of text messages and voice codes and stuff in a mobile phone. So in this case, it's Laurie Nightingale's phone, and it's going over the Weeping Angels, and Oscar's guiding you through his Weeping Angel mystery. And it really uses this phone virus regarding the Weeping Angels as well. It really does feel quite immersive. I haven't played The Edge of Time. I haven't played The Edge of Reality yet, but from those that have played it, I've heard that it's apparently really good. So that's certainly one that I intend to check out at some point in the future. And obviously, the most obvious similarity between both Big Finish and May's Theory is how both tend to, bring back the same actors from the show to reprise their characters. So The Edge of Time has got Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor, who also plays the part for The Lonely Assassins and also for The Edge of Reality as well. Big Finish haven't got Jodie Whittaker yet, but I'm sure they will in time. And it's great to just see a Jodie Whittaker reprise a part for these video games. She does a really great job at capturing her Doctor on audio. She really evokes those, vocal mannerisms that we're used to in her performance, and she really captures the essence and the energy of her Doctor. So I'd love to see her do some Big Finish at some point, and I really hope she does in the future. Also, in regards to May's Theory, they've also got Ingrid Oliver as Osgood, who also does some audio releases for Big Finish, most notably the Unit, the new series range. And again, she's great at reprising her character. She does a really good job at capturing the essence of Osgood and those geeky mannerisms on audio. She's really good at audio, so yeah, it's always great to hear her, sort of releasing audio work for the show. And then there's also David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, who, reprises the part for The Edge of Reality and also for Big Finish box sets as well. And he's really good at capturing that sort of boundless energy of his Doctor and the humanity of his Doctor, and it really comes across in his vocal performance. So David Tennant, he's really carved a path for himself in audio work. He does Scrooge McDuck for DuckTales, and he's also done like nature documentaries and stuff. And he's one of those actors that's really taken to doing audio work. So it's no surprise he's great at doing it for Big Finish and video game releases as well. Another character that Maze Theory have managed to get that Big Finish haven't yet is Finlay Robertson as Larry Nightingale, who reprises his part in the Lonely Assassins. And he's good at playing that part. He's really good at playing that kind of everyman who's become embroiled in the Doctor's adventures. He's quite an obscure character, so it's quite a sort of left field choice. But it's always great to hear those sort of random characters who have been affected by the Doctor's adventures come back, and to hear what they've been getting up to in the meantime. That's something that Big Finish do really well as well. They've brought back a few characters in their audios that only appeared once. As I said, Lady Christina D'Souza is one of the most prominent examples. But there's also Jago and Lightfoot as well. They only appeared in one serial from the 1970s, The Talons of Ren Chang. And Big Finish have somehow managed to get 14 series out of them. 14 series out of Jago and Lightfoot. How crazy is that? Now, sadly, one of the actors is no longer with us, but I just love the fact that they took these obscure characters in the 70s and they gave them, whole new life on audio, and they developed quite a big fan base for them as well. The two characters who only appeared in one story in the 70s, there's quite some going to, do it so well that they developed this massive fan base. If the classic series had spun off those characters into their own spin-off series in the 70s, they could have been as big as Sarah Jane and K9. It's crazy when you think of that. Another similarity between Maze Theory and Big Finish is the fact that both have done sequels to past Doctor Who stories. Lonely Assassins is a sequel to Blink, an absolute classic from Stephen Moffat, so I'm glad that Blink got a sequel in the form of Lonely Assassins. And it's an absolutely fantastic sequel as well. It really captures that same kind of eerie vibe as Blink, and it really does a great job, with following on from that story and exploring the same themes and ideas. And Big Finish are doing that most recently with a Seventh Doctor Mel story that's set after the Ribos operation, which is due to come out this year. They also did like a whole sequel trilogy to The Key to Time in general called The Key to Time. I see what they did there, and they it's something that they have done very well, and it's something that I'd like to see Big Finish continue to do in the future. And I'd like to see Maze Theory do a few more sequels to other Doctor Who stories as well. Perhaps Maze Theory could do a video game that's a sequel to Flux. That would be quite fun. Maybe even a sequel to something like Let's Kill Hitler, or a sequel to Asylum for Daleks. Maybe exploring that whole Dalek Parliament idea again, which is something we haven't really seen again, which is a shame. It's a really interesting idea, that whole notion of the Daleks having a diplomatic society. Not something you'd expect from the Daleks. So I would like to see that again. But yeah, I'd like to see, Maze Theory, do a few other things that are similar to Big Finish as well. It would be really great to see them expand into other eras of a show as well. With The Edge of Reality, we've got a video game that's essentially, a part of the 10th Doctor era for so much of it. So, it would be great to see them explore other eras, like the 3rd Doctor's era, and the 5th Doctor's era, and the 6th Doctor's era. Big Finish had done that very well with the 6th Doctor's era, the 7th Doctor's era on audio, you got the 9th Doctor, so it would be great to see Maze Theory do that as well. And perhaps they could also take a similar approach to Big Finish in a way that they spin off various characters from the TV series into their own ranges as well. So Big Finish have their own range for characters like Jenny the Doctor's daughter and Rose Tyler, and it would be absolutely fantastic to have a Rose Tyler video game set on Peace World. Could you imagine a Rose Tyler video game where you not only play as Rose Tyler, where you play as Jackie Tyler as well, and you play as the Meta Crisis Doctor. That would be tons of fun. They could all have like their own missions, a bit like Marvel Spider-Man, where you have like so many missions where you play as Rose Tyler, so many where you play as Jackie Tyler, and so many where you play as the Meta Crisis Doctor. That would be a ton of fun. Rose Tyler, the video game, needs to happen. It wouldn't be unprecedented either. Tiny Rebel Games released a Doctor Who video game for mobiles called Doctor Who Infinity, and that basically covered different Doctor Who eras. So there were ones based on the 3rd Doctor, the 4th Doctor, and the 10th Doctor. So it's definitely possible that Maze Theory could eventually take a similar approach. We could, in theory, get video games based on the 3rd Doctor's era or the 4th Doctor's era and different eras such as the 4th and the 3rd Doctor's eras within the show. So yeah, it's probably more likely in regards to a mobile game such as such as Doctor Who Infinity. So I would say it's probably less likely with a Doctor Who like actual console video game, but I wouldn't rule it out completely. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think that Maze Theory have a new Big Finish? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.